Now, do I have permission to use this knife? Maybe. To Jackie's Kitchy Kitchen. I'm Jackie, and today we're going to be making something wonderfully edible, maybe even not poisonous. What are we going to be making? I don't know. Maybe apple and pear clafoutis, or clafoutis, or clafoutis. We're going to be making things that are going to be really delicious. And today we're going to start by prepping with a knife. Now, do I have permission to use this knife? Maybe. We're gonna find out how well I can use it with some pear and some apple. Now, some people are a fan of I'm gonna put this down. Some people are used to using Granny Smith apples. I personally love Pink Ladies and Honey Crisp, and so that's what I decided to use today. If you don't like it, you can kiss my butt. It's nice and round. All right, so now in the name we have apples and pears. So which of these fine, lovely pieces of fruit am I going to sacrifice first?
Come again?
We're gonna do pears. Pears are, they're not fun. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're going to skin these mother truckers alive. So here we go. Just take your peel and be sure you don't hurt yourself. Or do hurt yourself. I'm not your mom. Or am I? The fun thing about a pear is they get real slimy real quick.
What happened? Are you okay? He slimed me.
This is the part I hate. I'm professional. Wow, this is what I discovered, that it has a butthole and I can touch it because it's dead now.
There's something seriously wrong with you.
And now, to sacrifice to the Cafloutis gods is an apple. And I'm not going to eat it, I promise. I will eat it later in the form of its guts. We're just gonna skin her up. I shouldn't say her. Apples could be boys too. And as you can see, she's very sweet smelling. All right, now it's time for every little girl's favorite dream, cutting things up.
Let me see what you have.
No! We're gonna start with our fun-loving apple. We're gonna cut this little guy in half. We're gonna set one piece aside, then cut that off. Cut the butthole off, cut it into quarters, and then we're gonna cut the core out. And then we're just going to cut in 2 slices. Don't cut your fingers, just cut the apple. Put these little guys right in here so they don't feel lonely and they just feel like a box full of kittens. So you want to keep your apple slices about 1 centimeter apart to 1 inch apart, whatever floats your boat. But you don't want to make them too thick. You want to make them pretty even across the board. Quarters you go. And then our next sacrifice is a naked pear. And these are barlette pears. I don't know why they're called barlette pears. You should probably ask a professional or Google. So now we're gonna cut our stem off here on the top. Then we're gonna cut our butthole off.
What did you say?
Then we're gonna cut our pear into quarters again. And just like the apple, we're gonna cut the core out. We're gonna put our flat side down. And just like apples, we're gonna cut about 1 centimeter to 1/2 inch apart. Growing up, I always ate pears from a can. So when I was an adult and I saw pears in the wild, I was like, what? They're not soft and squishy, but they are still slimy. Here we have an extraordinary ordinary pan, and it is about, I'd say, 2 inches wide, but us ladies know it is actually 8 inches.
You're goddamn right.
We're gonna take our butter. There we go. It is softened, and we're gonna use our hand powers.
I better use my strong hand.
To make it go all over. Isn't that nice? And icky, but it's mostly nice. Now you don't need much butter. I just kind of overkilled it a little bit because it's just fun. But we want to make sure our pan is nicely greased. You can use unsalted butter. You don't need more than a teaspoon. You know, all good for that, because I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Oh, look at that, miraculously they're clean. Don't show my washing of the hands, no one must know. Paper towel powers. I love you. I think you're so pretty and sexy all at the same time. So now that we buttered up our pan, we're gonna put a little bit of sugar in it. How much sugar? About a tablespoon should do. We're just gonna do this. Just sprinkle it all around. If you need to put a second one, that's no problem. We're just gonna evenly distribute where we can. This is the fun part where we get to the sides. We're just edging the sugar, that's all. Just some edge work. Not trying to go over the edge. We're just doing some straight up edge. And there we go. Okay, so now we're going to do some ingredient work. We're gonna take our little bowl here. We're gonna fill it with some sugar.
Sugar, 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 sugar.
That was easy. And we're going to add 3 large eggs. And we're just gonna whisk them. Just make them nice and mixed up. Get them a little confused.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
Look at that. And then we're gonna add our vanilla.
Word to your mother.
This is our vanilla extract, extracted from the finest vanilla beans from Ralph's. All right. And then next up, we're going to add our cream. Whee! Once we have it nicely mixed, we're going to add a little bit of vanilla bean. I usually like to put in about a half teaspoon. This is vanilla bean paste. It is delicious. There we go. God damn, that's like cocaine.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It's so good. If I can add vanilla bean to anything, I do. It's the best thing in the whole heckin' world. It's not better than kitties and puppies, unfortunately. You can't eat them. I mean, you can. It's just very, very frowned upon. And you shouldn't do it, because those are things that you love. Like hugging. All right, so now we're gonna add our flour gradually. As we go in, little by little. Nice, sure, real nice. All right, now we're going to add our kosher salt and our cinnamon, also pronounced cinnamon. Cinnamon. All right. So before we start doing all our ingredients, we are going to bake, do a preset of 375 and start. And we should be ready in no time. So now that we're done with our 2 pinwheels here, we are going to drown these mother truckers with our little concoction. And here we go. The consistency you want is still runny. You don't want it super thick. You don't want it doughy, of course. This is not that kind of cooking show. We like shit runny. All right. Doot, 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 doot. Here we go. And we're pouring. All right. So we're gonna pretend that these are a bunch of witches.
I'm a witch.
We wanna make sure they're all underneath. Kukulia, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like tapping the counter just so that way the bubbles can come out. There we go. Cool. So now that we have our little soup parade in here, we're going to put them into the oven. Here we are. Huzzah. And there we go. Just like that, we have our clafoutis already cooking or baking or doing something. It's not bacon, it's not pork. It's just a bunch of apples and pears and cream and sugar. It's all good. In the meantime, we're gonna be eating our little leftovers. And we're just gonna have a great old time. Did you know that apples start with an A? I bet you didn't. Our right, everyone, it's time for everyone's favorite activity, pulling out.
Why are you the way that you are?
Ah, she pretty. There we go. So we're just gonna let her cool on the cooling rack for probably about 10 minutes. But in the meantime, I want to put a little bit of powdered sugar on. We're just gonna sprinkle it on like it's snowing.
Let it snow, let it snow, let
She's
it snow.
really pretty. There we go. And we're done. So now all we have to do is cut her open and see how she tastes. All right, now we're gonna do our second favorite thing, or our third favorite thing, or maybe our first favorite. It's not a competition. We're going to eat our Cafloutis. You're probably thinking, man, wouldn't it be nice if I did it nicely? Well, no, not today. Normally, I like to eat it out of the pan, but you guys are guests in my kitchen, so that's just not gonna happen. There's also no sexy way of doing this.
Stop trying to make this sexy.
There we go. And there she goes, my little apple and pear mess. But she tastes good. It is so hot. Oh yeah, it's gotta cool a little longer. Ah. So apple and pear clafoutis actually go well with some vanilla bean ice cream, but generally speaking, just, a little bit of powdered sugar and she's good. If you want to make your own apple and pear clafoutis, the recipe is down below. In the meantime, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, everything on the socials, whatever you want to do. I'm not your mom, but I do want to cook like one. So subscribe. Bye. We'll see you guys later. This is mine now. I own you, and now you will be inside of me.